today I want to focus on something that we all struggle with. I know I do. I can tell you honestly, I am not always motivated. I wanted to share with you some techniques that I've used over the years, techniques and tools that I use now, not only for myself, but my team as we bring these dreams to life. Whether you're listening to it or watching it, this Paint Method podcast, I've had to apply these tools so that we could go from this being just a dream to actual reality. Welcome to the Paint Method podcast. Welcome back to those of you who are following this journey. If you're new here, if you're listening, be sure to hit that follow on whatever platform you're listening to this podcast. If you're watching on YouTube, be sure to like this video, subscribe, and even just put on your notifications so every time we have a new podcast or video, it just pops up for you. Now, today is all about, I wouldn't even say about motivation. It's actually about the lack of motivation, and it's inevitable. You know, I can say it for myself. I am not always motivated. It's just the truth. There may be people out there that are. I'm not one of those. Maybe you can relate to that. Maybe, you know, you've got these dreams and ideas and you're thinking, look, I want to pursue these on a daily basis, but I don't always have it in me. Well, today's podcast, I'm going to share with you 3 just important tools that I've used on my journey throughout the years, and even some new ones that I'm really, embracing more now as I am growing in my dreams and aspirations. But these tools helping us convert our dreams into action, our passion into action. So we'll get into that in a little bit. And again, thank you all so much for watching and just being a part of this Paint Method podcast. Let's go. We are all on our paint journey. But where are we now? And where do we go next? This is how. Passion, action, intent, new, teach. This is the Paint Method. I know the title of this is the Paint Method. I know paint is there and you're thinking, well, I'm not an artist, David. I'm managing a team, or I'm a parent and I'm managing my household, or whatever else that is that you do that you think is not creative probably is. Now, I say that because creativity is the problem-solving process. Now, as an artist, I've got to use these different skill sets to bring these ideas to life. And so before we move on to today's topic about motivation, which, believe it or not, I am excited about this because I think that it affects all of us. We'll get into it in a little bit, but I just want to define something real quick. This is a mindset podcast. Yes, I want to give you entertaining conversations from guests of ours that have been through some, lived some really colorful lives, but also sharing gems and information about how we can learn from their life and apply it to whatever it is that you're pursuing right now. I also want to do things like give you some inspiration and also realistic tools, which is what today's podcast is about. Now, and even, things, whether you're an artist or not, you can apply these tools to your journey. So the Paint Method, just to redefine this, just to get us all up to date, it's these 5 pillars: passion, action, intent, new, and teach. And at a later date, we'll go into each of those individually. But today I want to focus on, I think it's something that we all struggle with. I know I do, because I can tell you honestly, I am not always motivated. I'm not. There's a lot going on every day. We're doing 100+ shows around the world any given year. There's personal projects I'm working on here in the studio or even at my home. And then there's the kids' schedule on top of all that. And I think all of us could relate to this. We wake up and we're not always motivated. I've been trying to go work out in the gym at our house a little bit more, and there's days that I just don't want to do it. But how do you work past this? What if you have these huge ultimate goals, and maybe the goal is just wanting to finish writing a book that you've started, or maybe you're wanting to record a podcast yourself, or maybe you're an artist and you've just got that canvas up, but you haven't been motivated enough to get to it, to actually put that paint to canvas or that brush to canvas. But, when we start out on these journeys, it feels good. You have the idea and, you have this big dream, but there is a difference between passion and action. Those are the first two steps of the paint method. Passion is defined as something that it does feel good. It's something that's close to your heart. It's a subject matter. It's a passion that you're pursuing. It could be a talent. It could just be a subject matter that you're into. The action is what brings it to life. And that's also, you can look at it like this too. There's a difference between dreaming and doing. Passion is the dreaming. The action is the doing. I always say that, it's only a dream until you have a plan, and then it becomes a goal. And so, because we all deal with these moments where we're, just not naturally motivated to get going that day, you think about this. Well, what would motivate us? Like, what's the ultimate reward to pursue something? Whether it's the paycheck that you're showing up for, whether it's the bonus, maybe it's the attention. It could be multiple things that motivate you based on it being a reward. But what about this? What if on a day-to-day basis, there's no very clear reward for just going to the gym today or writing those first few pages of just making progress on a book idea that you have? I think that's it. Just where is the reward in progress? Well, there's not. It's not as clear as other rewards that we work for. So what do you do to work through this? And I wanted to share with you some techniques that I've used over the years. There are techniques and tools that I use now, not only for myself, but my team as we bring these dreams to life. Even this, whether you're listening to it or watching it, this Paint Method podcast, I've had to apply these tools so that we could go from this being just a dream to an actual reality, turning this passion into action, putting momentum behind it, even when I'm not motivated. And that's, believe it or not, it happens often. So what are these tools? How do we start? One of the first pieces of advice I can give you, and if you're taking notes or if you're, mental notes, it's very important to have an idea box. Now, this is a place where you store your ideas, and there's different forms of it, different levels. It could be as simple as a notebook, a sketchbook, but it's a place where those ideas go. It can also be a project management system. We use one for our company here for all the different creative projects that we have. And every crazy idea I get, I write it in a little box. And then in this program, within that, there's other little goals that go with it. But whether I pursue that idea in the moment or later, it's in a safe place. So I'm sure you get these ideas, you're inspired on a daily basis. I don't want you to forget them, because the first thing is, and also when you want to bring these ideas to life, you may not be motivated as well, because you're probably thinking, what was that idea? What were we supposed to be working on? So put those ideas in a safe place. The form can be a notebook. It can be a project management system or a journal, or even, this is really for the creatives out there, cloud storage. So, taking pictures of those sketches that you have down, or just even the notes that you're taking, put those in a safe cloud storage place. I keep a lot of my files in a Dropbox, somewhere safe that, later I know where to find them. So that first step, that first tool is creating an idea box. That way you always have a safe place to go to when you want to start working on your ideas. The second tool that I want to give you for this, for when you're lacking motivation and you still need to make progress, this next tool is an optimized workspace. Now, I'm an artist, so naturally my workspace is a little crazy. There's paint splattered here and there. If you could imagine, I'm going to describe my studio right now. We've got a huge 20-foot wall just with chaotic paint splattered everywhere. But below that are these gallons of paint that are organized in a way that I can easily find them. I can easily see what color and what order. So as I get my ideas and I need to work on a project, even when I'm not motivated, the workspace is optimized to just go and create. And I'm not spending extra time getting it together for me to finally do something. And this is the case for really a lot of other places in this studio space. I'll give another example. We're recording this right now on our like a little live streaming hub. And even the way that this is set up, it's set up to when I have an idea, whether I'm motivated or not, we can flip a switch, start recording, and go. So this workspace, it's sort of, if I have any excuses why I don't want to create, I've taken those all out by making it as easy as possible in this optimized workspace. You can do this at home as well. Where certain dishes are placed or pans as you're bringing your ideas to life in the kitchen as well. Make sure that it's optimized, that things are easily available and even in a physical distance so that there's less energy spent on, and also less time thinking, do I want to do this? So overcoming that lack of motivation by optimizing your workspace. And this last one I'm going to share with you is, this is, I think, one of the most practical things. This is something that everyone can do. And this last tool is a daily physical reminder. So when I was 20 years old, I was living in this little 1-bedroom apartment in downtown Sacramento. And I had this dream to be an artist one day, to be a professional. And I knew that for some reason inside of me, I was up against the clock. I knew that I didn't have the time to waste. And so every time I went outside, I went through my door, I had to think about spending my time every day in a way that's going to get me closer to my dream, my ultimate goal. And next to the door, I wrote myself a letter. And I'll have to pull this letter up and share it on my social. But I wrote myself a letter and I would read it every single time. I was forced to. And I think I put above it, David, read this. And that letter was, it wasn't something that actually motivated me, but it reminded me what was important. It reminded me what the ultimate dream was. And so when I walked out the door and I started thinking about, things that I wanted to go do, like hanging out with my friends or just spending time on things that weren't going to draw me closer to my dreams, that reminder just told me to my face that whatever you're feeling right now, stay focused. And so you can do this. You put it next to your door before you go out into the garage or your front door. Find a door that you walk through on a daily basis. And I took that letter with me from studio to studio. I've been in, I think, 4 studios now since that little 1-bedroom apartment, and we have it up here now. And I think it's time I need to write a new letter to myself, because there are some new dreams and goals that I need to stay motivated for, and also a reminder when I'm lacking that motivation to keep going. You can do this whether it's a photo or sort of a small vision board on your mirror. Writing with a dry erase marker on your mirror, and this is not just an affirmation. Write yourself a letter, just a quick one of a daily reminder when you're not motivated, why you're doing this, why you're going to push through, why you want to still make action and progress through all of this. So just to recap, for those of you that are like me, that are not always motivated, I'm just not. I use these 3 tools, putting my ideas in a box in a safe place so that I can go back to them anytime I need to bring an idea to life. The second one is an optimized workspace so that things are easily accessible. When I have an idea, I can easily create it. And I'm not spending energy or time talking myself out of doing that idea. And the last one is just a physical reminder, putting a letter or writing yourself a letter or even a challenge next to a door that you're going in and out of every day. So as you go into the world, you have a filter now of how you see things, and whether you're feeling in the moment about you wanting to pursue that dream, even when you're not motivated, you're still constantly reminded. So thank you so much for listening to this Paint Method podcast. And again, this is a mindset podcast. We're going to keep teaching these pillars and how to apply passion, action, intent, new, and teach to help you discover where you are in life right now, and also how to create where you go next. My name is David Garibaldi, and thank you so much for listening or watching.